Welcome back to the show, everyone. It's I Quit My Band. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good, dude.
Better now, dude.
Yeah, my name's Nate.
I'm JJ.
I'm Evan.
It feels really good to be down here. I don't know why. It's just
I'm happy
different.
to see you guys.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see you guys. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. If you haven't subbed to the show yet, go ahead and subscribe down below. Comment as well, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for play or show clips. Play show clips.
It's been a rough weekend for my guy.
It actually has been, so forgive me.
Yeah, clips, skits,
comedy skits. We write comedy skits and we film them.
Yeah.
And they, they're great.
And some of them get buried by the algo.
Some of them get like Bars Rescue. Go check out Bars Rescue.
Bars
Some
Rescue
of our best
is
work.
a 5-star classic.
It is a 5-star classic, and we got kind of fucked by the algo on that one, which sucks. Mm-hmm. And then subscribe to our Patreon page. There's going to be a new episode where I try to convince Evan and JJ to get into the Deftones fandom. Gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night. We're listening to a lot of Deftones tonight.
Yeah, we're gonna be listening to a lot of Deftones.
So if you are a fan of the Deftones, you like our review, head over to the page where you get even more in depth. We're going through the whole catalog.
I'm gonna be going to bat for our boys, and hopefully you guys will, turn a new leaf.
Heel.
Yeah, turn
to
heel.
the dark side, dude.
But before we do any of that, we're going to talk about the new Deftones album. We're going to be reviewing it. We've already listened to it. It's called Private Music. It came out this past Friday. So obviously, sorry.
I came up with a dumb private music, like the shit that you're embarrassed to listen to in your cubicle.
Yeah, this is private.
Because I love
what are you
those.
listening to over there? It's private.
Don't talk about
It's
it.
private music.
It's private.
I'm listening to Kenny Loggins. It's private.
This is private. This is my private time.
Well, it's like there's that classic meme of like none of my coworkers know what the fuck I'm listening to, and it's like the most gruesome shit of all time while you're filling out a spreadsheet.
Immediate HR complaint. If you ask me, it's illegal for you to ask me what I'm listening to.
Yeah, it's private music.
It's private music.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, we're going to be talking and reviewing Private Music, the new album from Deftones. I think this is their 10th album. They haven't put out an album in a couple years. I think 2022 was the last one, called Ohms. And 2016, there was Gore, named after Al Gore.
Oh, nice.
It was
Inconvenient truth.
Inconvenient.
That album sucks.
Okay, so no, wait, I got that wrong. Ohms was 2020 and Gore was 2016. So yeah, it's been 5 years since their last record. I'm a huge Deftones fan. You guys, I have to do convincing later because you guys are not of the cloth.
Yeah, I am like a new metal. Like growing up, I really liked new metal, but it was mostly like System of a Down and that kind of stuff. Deftones was always like the band that I would like run into one guy who would be obsessed with Deftones, and I could never really get into it. I listened to Around the Fur, and Around the Fur I've come back to from time to time, and I remember listening to White Pony and liking White Pony, but I will say that in my experience with the Deftones, especially at that time, it would all kind of blend together. Like they have a very distinct sound, but it doesn't like differentiate as much. And then like comparing it to System of a Down, where it's like freakazoid all over the place. Yeah, I just found that more interesting growing up. But I was excited for this record because Deftones' influence seems to be growing in a very strange way. Like they're having a sort of like renaissance that you don't often see, especially from like a 2000s new metal band.
Yeah. I mean, they were, in my mind, like, I was always surprised that they were considered new metal, because new metal had a lot of like rapping and hip hop influence, and there was a little bit of that in like the early 2000s, late 1990s with Deftones, but Chino wasn't really like a Fred Durst type. No. You know what I mean? And their sound was a little bit more like shoegazy and loud and heavy than any other new metal band. I always kind of considered them like the way like, you know, System of a Down was considered new metal. I'd put Deftones in the same like regard, where it's like it's not really new metal.
Yeah, they're definitely like the valedictorians of the new metal.
They kind of get a pass.
Yeah, like comparing it, like I like Korn,
Yes.
But I think that System of a Down and Deftones are doing something much different than
Way
Korn
different.
was doing.
Yeah.
They are my cousin's favorite band. My cousin Nick is my oldest cousin, and the only other like music influence in my family from anywhere.
Sure.
And I never quite related to him on like a metal level. We bonded on like certain things, but for the most part, there was just so much age. Like he's a decent amount older than me, so there was always so much age there. To go into some of my family history, I'm sure, because
You guys are marking the young family tree.
yeah. But anyways, his house, and well, formerly his room, like when I would go over for like Christmas or something, decked out with Deftones shit,
White
like
Pony
the White
posters.
Pony poster.
Yeah.
He had he's a snowboarder. I'm pretty sure he had a snowboard with like, because Deftones had really minimalist artwork and
that,
things like
cursive.
that. Yeah, and had that on there. So whenever I hear their band name or their music, I always think about my cousin and his sick ass bedroom when I was like 5.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's some sick decor.
And
Yeah.
I will say that tracks with Deftones of what I know of their fandom is like they create dudes. Like there are Deftone dudes.
Hosses.
Yeah.
Deftone hosses exist out there. And I
Yeah.
used to be one of them. And where I am, I'm still one of them. You know,
Yeah.
I still consider myself one of them. But you're right when you said that there's a Deftones renaissance going on right now. Felt like so many bands that people have told me to check out in the past like 3 years. I checked them out and I'm like, this is Deftones. Like Loathe, that band Loathe. I'm like, this is like the Greta Van Fleet version of Deftones. And like no one's really like calling them out for it. It's just they're just like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
These sound like Deftones, I'm already into it. Like it's kind of a wild thing how like this weird like new metal band created this like this new like renaissance in the new generation for
it's like
rock music fans.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put the songs
go ahead,
on
yeah,
of
put
the
some
private
songs on
music. Yeah,
because there's like this big upright like with people like unironically liking new metal again and stuff like nobody was talking about Limp Bizkit like 10 years ago.
yeah,
You know, not that there's any comparison, but maybe it's just like an infatuation with, because now things from the early 2000s are considered old, whereas like not that long ago they were still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
It's like the nostalgia play of everything. But people's tastes change, and maybe there was something dormant that people found that they liked in this. I don't know. It inspired a lot of other music.
Yeah, and I think it's like that heavy approach to shoegaze, because
Yeah.
shoegaze is definitely way bigger than it has been in the like past decade.
yeah, for
And
sure.
they're like out of the modern era, one of the heavier variations of it.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's a lot of heavy shoegaze bands right now that you can hear that Deftones influence in there. When it came to private music being released, though, I mean, I was excited that they were releasing a new album, and it was produced. I saw that it was produced by Nick. I can't pronounce his last name, Raskulinecz or something like that. But I know that he produced their album Diamond Eyes, and he also produced No Yokan.
Diamond Eyes is the one with the owl.
Yeah, and both of those records are like very well and highly regarded by Deftones fans as like great, like late era albums, like especially No Yokan. For me, Diamond Eyes is my favorite Deftones album, and it's where I kind of like started listening to them. It was released in 2010. But yeah, Gore and Ohms just felt so like faceless and directionless to me. Like the production on Gore was like really lackluster and like thin sounding. And Ohms was like gonna be this return to form, I guess, and I just didn't see it. I just felt like the songs were just like, it was, the sound was there, but the songwriting wasn't. So I was excited for when Private Music got announced, and My Mind Is a Mountain was the first single, and Milk of the Madonna was the second single. I did a reaction on our channel for Milk of the Madonna. Reminded me a lot of like their Saturday Night Wrist era. Sounded a lot like the song Kim Dracula or Maine. Just like those shoegazy guitars, and it felt like they were kind of getting back to what they did best and like actually having songs with an identity. But yeah, getting into Private Music, I don't know if I really found that? What did you guys have any anticipation or like what you were thinking Private Music would sound like? Or
Well, this was the first song that I heard, and I wasn't huge on it.
yeah,
But I thought that it actually worked kind of well for an opener.
yeah,
Like that, like dun dun
me play it
dun
back
dun
real
dun
quick.
dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Like that, like being the first thing that you hear on the album.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, for a later album, that sounds like urgent.
yeah,
What I did find on the album, both on a production end and a songwriting end, is like peaks and valleys.
yeah,
Like I think there's some stuff on the record that works really well, and then some stuff that kind of feels like a filler track.
yeah, for sure.
The thing that I was missing on like this song and throughout was like Chino basically just sings throughout. And the stuff from
Yeah.
Deftones that I do like a lot, he does scream more.
Yeah, he gets a little bit grittier, and the one thing about Chino's vocals too on this record is that like I had to do a kind of a comparison of like what does he usually sound like? You know, what did the older record sound like? Because it felt so much like his vocals were buried in the mix and covered in reverb and distortion on a lot of these songs. It was like he's like kind of just in there, but he's not over top of anything, which I thought was kind of odd.
Can you go to the next tune actually?
Yeah, this next song's called Locked Club.
Yeah. I think with because I agree with you, Evan. Like I think when you think of Deftones, there's definitely like a kind of a inherent gnarliness that
Yeah.
you anticipate, and this is gnarly. I mean, that riff is really thick, and
Yeah.
the guitars sound huge and whatever. But he is not screaming as much. But because I don't really have much to base my Deftones appreciation off of, I didn't really mind it. But if I wanted like a kind of a heavy duty shoegaze album, I might just listen to Nothing, the
Yeah.
band or something like that.
The band. I might just listen to
I might
nothing.
just not.
I might just
If
not
I wanted to listen to something that sounds like Deftones, I'd listen to nothing.
because there is no band at all.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. No, I'd listen to like maybe one of the equivalents because they really are like scratching the surface of like flowing out of what is hardcore and going into not riff rock per se, but like walls of sound and things.
Yeah, like this song being the second song, like I was kind of like when that riff came in, it was like, ding, ding,
Yeah,
I
it
was like
sounds
this is gonna be
nasty.
sick, and those drums, Abe Cunningham is chopping it up on the drums, but it felt like the song just like moves so fast.
Yeah.
Like Chino does this thing on the later records, and it's something I noticed on No Yokan, which is a great record, but I had problems with it because of this specifically. Is that like their verses would just be so short because he would like start right when the song started. Like his vocals would come in,
Yeah.
and they'd be like, "This isn't." He's not really saying much.
It's almost
you
like
know?
1, 2, 3, 4 vocal. Yeah.
Like sometimes it sounds like you're starting in the middle of a song,
Yeah.
like right when the song starts. I'm like, they're not really building out a track. They're more just like putting together two ideas and
Yeah.
then like kind of ending it.
Yeah,
on
not letting it
something heavy.
breathe.
Yeah, it's something I noticed on this one. I feel like CXZ was one of those two. Metal Dream. Cut Hands kind of has a cooler intro, but it kind of ultimately does the same thing. Can I put? Would you want to put one on?
Yeah, why don't you put on Infinite Source?
Infinite Source is my favorite song on the record.
Same.
It has my favorite part on the record. Like
The guitar
this
part?
this riff is so sick.
Yeah, it's great.
But the guitars that follow it are so pillowy.
Yeah, these ones,
Yeah, like they feel like digital.
like this riff is
The
great.
vocal even sounds kind of like that to me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time on the record where I feel like, or maybe one of the only times on the record where it feels like we're getting like true raw emotion out of a song. Like it's trying to like tug at your heartstrings a little bit and be a little bit more shoegazy. Like this is kind of like dream sequence type
Yeah.
of shit.
Yeah, this is like Wong Kar Wai or something like
Yeah.
that. Like flying through the tunnel.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the Diamond Eyes era. But yeah, then you go to like the song Souvenir, and it's almost the next song after that, and it's almost like Dark Toyota-thon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say Souvenir for me is the lone dud.
yeah, it feels.
Dark
I mean,
Toyota thought.
it feels like just wait. come get your new Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
The
like
new
on-
Ford Raptors here for you.
But it's
Only
like
the scariest
October.
trucks.
Yeah. Only the scariest looking trucks.
Yeah, keep gooling in your goddamn motherfucking truck.
Yeah, just like, I don't know.
And there's like parts of this song that like have like a Dream Theater theatricality to it.
Yeah, I
Um,
could see that.
Mike
Yeah.
Mangini on the drums. The
I'll tell you what-
dorkiest drummer of
Yeah.
all time.
Well, Portnoy's back. Too.
I know. Oh yeah, Portnoy's back. How can I forget?
Abe Cunningham, I will say, his performances on this record throughout are fucking really sick.
Beast.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite drummers ever. Like, he is huge with ghost notes and like just making you feel like you're going down one way and you're not at all.
Yeah.
And his snare is always so fucking
loud.
like tight
Yeah,
and like
it's
loud.
awesome.
As
Yeah.
God intended a snare to sound.
The songs on this record, we've talked a little bit about like the duds, I guess. But the songs on this record that I feel like were really strong are Infinite Source, and then I Think About You All the Time, and then Milk of the Madonna. But
Were any
this
of those
song-
singles? I don't really remember.
Milk of the Madonna was the second song.
Okay.
But this is I Think About You All the Time, and this one reminds me, just like, it has a build to it. Like, there's an actual structure here, and it's again another moment on the record where it feels like true raw emotion is coming out in the melodies and the guitar tones and the structure and Chino's vocals. And it again reminds me a little bit of some stuff off of Saturday Night Wrist and Diamond Eyes. Like, it reminds me of the song 976 Evil off of Diamond Eyes a little bit. Not as like built out and complicated. It is like, compared to those tracks, like not nearly as great, but like it's a moment on the record where I'm like, they are sort of finding it again.
Yeah, I like this one a lot because it feels like Chino's vocal delivery matches what the
Yeah.
song is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
same
and
intensity.
Yeah, and there's a couple times where the song is so heavy that I don't feel like he quite gets there.
Yeah.
And this one, like, it's the lone ballad. It's
Yeah.
really pretty. Like you said, it's like it's the most like built out and like feels like a full idea. I think one of the things that happens with later era records from bands is they almost overdo it on like heaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it seems like antithetical, but like older rock bands, I feel like more often than not are like every song has to be a fucking ass beater,
Yeah,
so people
yeah.
know that we still rock.
The
But it's like-
Metallica syndrome.
yes,
Yeah.
and like like King Animal was that way, like with
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
But
and-
they don't have the they're abandoning the artfulness that it takes to craft like a dynamic, well balanced
down.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the focus goes on like we still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think this record is completely that. Like I like this song a lot. Milk on the Madonna rules.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna put that one on.
Put
'cause
that one on.
This is one of their best songs in years, I would say.
Yeah.
Sick title too.
It is a great title.
Great title.
I saw there was a reaction to some guy who talked shit on the title. I was like, dude,
What the
come on.
fuck, dude?
I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have no taste?
Yeah, half do you know taste?
Yeah.
yeah, it's like so urgent. It still has that like Deftones. Everything is sad somehow. Even when we're rocking, it's sad.
Yeah. Bloody rain.
What I kind of like about what's the drummer's name again?
Abe Cunningham.
Abe Cunningham is he's not like ultra in your face. I'm a metal drummer all
Yeah.
the time, like because like where hardcore and new metal and shit like that lose me, and I'm like a drummer, so kind of just a matter of taste.
Yeah.
But like so much of this music is just
Yeah,
with
yeah,
your
yeah.
feet all the time. You don't need that. Like although he just like embellishes, which is what it's meant for.
Yeah. The cool thing about Abe is that he'll subtract even
Yes.
more. Like he'll take out notes, like the ghost notes where I was talking about. Like he won't use a double kick because it's like it's cooler to just like make you think that there's gonna be something like that and then not give it to you.
The tunes on this album are maximalist while also being minimalist, if that makes sense, with like certain performances. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying because they have a DJ kind of like sampler
Scratcher.
guy in their band named Frank Delgado, and there's certain songs and certain albums where he's like really prevalent, but they never like overdo it with him. It's never like, you know, they're gonna have a whole bunch of crazy synth patterns going on at once. But this album, I feel like you don't really even notice any like synths. They're just there for atmosphere, pretty much.
Yeah, there's like some vocal sample stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing that I heard on the stuff that you played for us that I kind of missed is like there's songs where like Chino will go up like you think it's going to be a scream, and then like it like distorts or becomes like a weird digital like effect or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it was missing some of that. This like riff right here is my favorite thing on the record. Just like a giant baritone. It's like 2 notes, but it just sounds so fucking good.
Yeah,
and there's a couple songs like this that kind of get over the line for me that I think have some immediacy, like the bass line in Ecstasis. I really like to open that.
Ecstasis, when that starts, I thought this song was gonna be like way cooler than it ends up being.
Ecstasis.
It is Ecstasis.
Ecstasis.
It is Ecstasis.
It's Ecstasis.
But this bass line, like
when it comes in,
yeah, you hear that, you're like, it's
enormous.
1992 again, dude.
I feel like they almost ruin it by having Steph Carpenter come in and mimic the bass, like too early.
Yeah.
Like let me ease into this, and then
if you did that like during like a pre-chorus, like chill out over the bass line here, and then this comes in before we go into the chorus. I do see what you're saying. Like there are like some moments where it might feel like they rush ideas and like don't let them give their full breath. But I also like Cut Hands.
Cut Hands has a really sick fucking riff on it, and I like how it starts with, I don't know what he's saying, but so much attitude in that vocal.
Yeah, like this is almost like a Limp Bizkit.
Oh yeah,
this is as Durst as Chino gets.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
And this song is the only one that I really got it on the album. And I don't know if this is just me and I'm an idiot, but there is like a little bit of like POD sometimes that I get from Deftones that I think also
don't say it ain't so, dude.
that also may hold me back from giving the full throated.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of that you know what I mean? Like where it just sounds like you're yelling at like a security camera outside of a bank that you shouldn't be skateboarding in.
They do They do the Smooth Criminal cover.
No, that's Alien Anthem.
Don't shit.
We can't go all the way.
Yeah.
We've lost. I like the Deftone fans are still reeling from the POD.
Oh
man.
my god! Yeah.
Yeah, not Alien.
Here comes the boom.
Yeah, I don't mind Cut Hands, but yeah, again, it feels like it feels like cut short in a way, you know.
But go to the final riff. Go to the last minute.
Yeah. Like this one at the end? Or just his scream, were you talking about?
Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Like to get towards
That's
the
sick,
back half of the album and hear something this fucking heavy.
Yeah, it
Hell
does.
yeah.
It is pretty sick.
And I think Metal Dreams maybe should have been the cover.
The closer?
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, the closer, because like I really like this song a good bit. This chorus is like so pretty.
This chorus is one of the stronger ones on the record. I'll give you that. Yeah, because I didn't really fuck with deporting the deporting the body.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Get it the hell out of here. Go back to where you came from.
I love the song "Deporting the
We're
Body."
gonna deport the body.
Deftones is my
We're gonna
favorite
dig
band.
it up
and deport it.
Ew, gross.
I just didn't fuck with deporting the body that much as a closer.
Call it deporting the body.
Departing the body.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I didn't think it was. It just didn't feel like anything different from the rest of like the kind of like whatever songs. I love this section so much. This might be one of my favorite things on the record. And this is like when I think of like what Chino does, because I'm not like the biggest Chino guy. Like his approach to vocals doesn't do a ton for me, but like when I hear something like this is what I think that he does like really well.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but for me it feels like as a Deftones fan who's like listened to all of their records, you know, however many times, I feel like he's like really, reheating his nachos, if you will. Okay. Like, kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And he has more up his sleeve, but I feel like he's kind of maybe, in a way, lost, like, having a ton of substance to his lyrics, and he's just more like, doing this kind of like that whisper, like classic, and it just none of the lyrics really like mean anything. It's all about like your gaze and the colors and 1,000 years and stuff like that. Like it's just stuff
like shoegaze
Mad
Libs.
Shoegaze Mad Libs is a great way to put it. Yeah. Like even though this is pretty, I just feel like it's not really like it's something I've heard before.
Yeah, I do miss like listening to the stuff that you put on the Deftones like starter pack.
Yeah, the starter pack.
There are just times where he would meet the aggression with the music with like his expressiveness, and like most of this record, he's staying like you said, like just like under everything.
Yeah, he's just treading water a bit. Should we move into CAs?
I think we should go into CAs.
Yeah,
I'll go first.
Okay.
As a relative newbie to Deftones, I was pretty pleased by this. I mean, if I maybe had more of an expectation, I might have been a bit more taken aback by the, where the vocals could have gone and where they have gone in the past. But it kind of made me think during that last song we were listening to in specific. You guys remember when we reviewed Five Finger Death Punch or whatever the fuck?
I remember when we...
Five Finger Death Punch? Or
no.
Theory of a Dead Man?
No. No. Oh, shit.
Kill Switch Engage.
Kill Switch.
Oh,
Kill Switch.
Yeah.
When we reviewed Kill Switch and we were like, all these choruses do that soaring thing and it's really cheese and really lame. And I kind of got that vibe from this, but in a not lame cheese way, if that makes sense.
But still some samey same.
Yeah, still some samey same, but like I think what this album really benefits it from is like the band's decision making, which may be to the detriment to what you guys say, and that they use a decent amount of, and the word escapes me, but like they're being very choosy about the moves they make and stuff like that, right? The discretion, maybe to say. Whereas like guys in Kill Switch are just like, like the meme of like the guy with the tape, like fuck it, soaring chorus, you know. And I really enjoyed this. I mean, it basically is a shoegaze record with a few like metal influences and whatever. And I feel like it may be like, for fans that wanted the more hardcore shit, maybe a letdown. But for me, as like I said, as a noob, I really enjoyed it. The production's good, the drumming's badass, the guitars sound awesome. Vocals may be a bit subdued, but I kind of prefer that anyways. And when I listen to heavy music, so I think I'm gonna just land on an even 7 for this.
I'll go next. Yeah, I felt like pretty similarly. I think Deftones, and I don't know if it's just that I don't have enough time with them, and I don't know like the breadth of their category, but a lot of their stuff sounds very similar to me. Yeah. Like they have a very defined sound, and that's why people love them. Because there's not there's a lot of shoegaze bands, and now there's even some heavy shoegaze bands, and a lot of people are kind of like, trying to take things that Deftones did and incorporate in their own music, but there's not really anybody that sounds like Deftones. Like Stephen Carpenter, or is it Stephen or Stephen? Stephen Carpenter, like he has his own style of playing. Yeah. Abe Cunningham has his own style of playing. Like Chino Marino is a very distinct vocalist. So like there is some of this record that blended together for me, but I didn't have a bad time listening to it at all. And there are parts of these songs that I thought were like excellent. Like that opening riff in Infinite Source is like one of the coolest rock riffs I've heard all year. Milk of the Madonna I'm going to listen to a lot.
So good.
It's a fucking great song. Like Metal Dreams, I love that chorus. Like it has like a really cool emotionality to it. I think there's like way more songs on here that worked for me than didn't. And for a band on their 10th album iterating a very similar sound to the one that they like started on their first record, yeah, I thought it sounded really good. You know, there's definitely some clunkers in there,
Yeah.
and I don't think, like you said, they didn't maximize some of the good ideas that they had. Like, it feels like there are certain times on the album, like you said, if they let something breathe a little bit,
Yeah.
if they allowed something to come in earlier or later, you wouldn't get maybe that feeling that I have that there is like a similarity through a lot of it. Like,
Yeah.
if you had these like bigger peaks and these bigger dynamic shifts, it would be there. But I'm gonna double JJ. I'm giving it a flat 7.
Damn,
Alright.
2 7s right in a row.
Damn. Okay. So for me, as more of like the Deftones head, who has been like following along for a longer period of time, I will say that this is 100% their best album since No Yokan. Like, just in, like, for starters, in the way it sounds. Like, it sounds like
awesome.
It sounds awesome. It sounds better than Ohms. It sounds 10 times better than Gore. So they really nailed like getting the sound that they had on, like, even Diamond Eyes, and almost like there's a little bit of a White Pony influence almost with the production as well. And then you have like the songwriting and the shoegaziness of an album like Saturday Night Wrist, which was like their most like probably like divisive record, which is like they're trying out some weird experimental stuff and like getting more shoegazy and not as intense. So like it did have a good mix of like the better classic records for me. But again, I think where it fell short for me was just with songwriting. Like, I just felt like some of the songs were just not like as fleshed out. I felt like some of the choruses fell flat. Like, while Locked Club has like a really heavy, intense riff, and it has Chino coming in with these like kind of badass spoken word type of vocals, the chorus comes in and it just feels like it's just this kind of floating thing, and it doesn't really matter, and they're just kind of like, it started to feel formulaic for me, and like I felt like that on Ohms and Gore, where it's just like, let's get to the chorus as fast as we can and really not say that much during the verse. Like, I just don't think Chino has a ton of like substance to his lyrics anymore, and I can just hear that in some of these songs. But this album has the best songs that they've put out in years. This one, Mind is a Mountain, Milk of the Madonna, is probably their best song in a very long time. I would choose Milk of the Madonna over anything off of Koi No Yokan, honestly.
Wow.
And I think About You All the Time is great, and I really liked Cut Hands as well. So there's like way more memorable moments, and I also don't think that this album functions as just like, let's play the hits type of thing, where it's like a kind of like how we said like with Tyler the Creator on like Chromacopia, where it's like just feels like a mixed bag of things they've done before. This album does feel like its own thing to me, which is also very cool. But yeah, I don't know. It kind of just, it's a good album. I enjoyed listening to it, but it just kind of fell short in terms of like memorable moments for me. I don't know. I felt like there was more, like more treading water songs than there were bangers. But I'm gonna give it a 6.8.
Oh wow.
Okay.
And then that brings us to a 6.9.
Nice.
Okay.
Which, right on the verge, and I almost feel bad. I feel like we got to give it a 7, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we can still give it a hell yeah at 6.9.
let's give it
6.9.
it's a hell yeah, 6.9. I'm calling HR hell yeah.
I'm calling
good.
HR.
I'm
hell
calling
yeah.
That's
HR,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
for listening to my private
Nate's
music.
got his private music over.
He's
Yeah,
listening
what
to
the
his
fuck is
private music, and he won't show it to anybody.
Ew.
What is it?
Ew.
I was surprised because it seemed like most of the Deftones faithful were really happy with this record.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they were happy with it with Ohms too.
Yeah, yeah.
And I felt
It's
like
that
when Gore
easy
came
to
out, it was
please,
also, and Koi No Yokan is looked upon as like one of their best records ever. And while I think it's very good, I also think it falls short of like, there's a lot of, just kind of, there's songs that they feel not that fleshed out,
Yeah.
I still think that about that
Well,
record.
you're not like the average Deftones
I'm not
fan.
the average Deftones fan.
You're
I'm a
shining
Diamond Eyes truther. every song has to kick ass.
You're
and that
shining a
album's
critical light on things that may not be sometimes.
We
true.
were with another Deftones dude, and your Diamond Eyes take like lit him up like a Christmas tree.
It's the best.
He was
album,
like,
dude.
right? You found like the one other
I
guy.
found the one guy. I hope he's listening to this right now, and he's like, yeah, it isn't that. good.
No, it did.
And Diamond Eyes is better. Yeah. So I'm calling HR hell yeah from the IQMB boys a 6.9 out of 10. What did you guys think of Private Music? Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with me that it's kind of falling short, or are you kind of on their side that this is like, pretty fucking awesome? Let us know in the comments.
That 0.2 difference.
That 0.2
between-
difference.
It fell short, or it's pretty fucking awesome. I think
I had to be a
like,
little bit more critical. Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok for skits and podcast clips. And subscribe to our Patreon page. Go to the description underneath this video where you can buy the official IQMB shirt. Support the show. Tell everyone that you quit your band or that you just, you're a Chad.
Yeah.
You join the Chad Club.
We're entering the fall of the Chad here soon.
We're entering the fall of the Chad. That's just the next season, the fall season.
Yeah.
No
Don't think
Chads
that
are
we're-
actually falling.
We
Don't
could
think it's
never,
over.
dude.
Yeah.
Don't
We could
think it's
never
over.
fall.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for watching the show. Let us know what you thought, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.